All right, welcome everyone to our presentation today on enhancing your job search with AI tools. My name is Cliff Guerin, and I am an advisor here at WGU's Career and Professional Development Center. So for today, we're going to cover a few things. But first of all, if you need to leave for whatever reason, um, you're perfectly fine because this is being recorded and you will get a copy of the recording with usually by tomorrow, but within the 48 business hours. There will be some interaction. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to take those questions. If something comes up later and you want to contact us, you could do so at the careers@wgu.edu. And then for our questions, we'll be using the chat, not the QA panel, but the chat panel for that. So our agenda will be really covering AI as an overview, especially using for job search strategies. Part of that will be how AI can help optimize your resume and cover letter, even your LinkedIn profile, and then how AI can help you with interview preparation as well. So this may be an introduction. Most everybody has an understanding of what AI is, but here is a short video just to cover some of the basics.
Welcome to this short video on artificial intelligence and best practices. What is artificial intelligence? AI is the simulation of human intelligence in machines, enabling them to learn, reason, make decisions, and solve problems like humans do. Before jumping into using AI, there are some important considerations to address. High tech, high touch. This new technology is exciting, but it's also complicated. Embrace new technology, but don't forget human skills. AI is not always accurate. Think of AI like a smart computer helper. It's not perfect, and it can make mistakes. Since AI uses information and inputs it learned before, it might be outdated, and sometimes it even makes up stuff that's not true, which is why we recommend using caution when using AI. AI is biased and can be unfair. Since it learns from people, by default, it inherits human biases. Protect your information by not sharing personal information with public AI tools. Any data you share with generative AI tools will be used to further train the model. It is best not to share any personal or proprietary data. Good practice would be to not include your contact information at the top of your resume when pasting or uploading your resume to public AI tools or ChatGPT. Talk to AI like a friend. When you use AI, it's like having a conversation. You can ask it questions and tell it if you want something different. Don't just take the first answer it gives you. Start with your own ideas. Think of AI as a helper, not a replacement for your brain. Use it to make your own ideas better, not do all the work for you. Double check everything. When you're trying to get a job or do something important, make sure your work shows who you really are. Don't let AI make you sound like somebody you're not. Remember, AI can help you work faster, but it's important to make sure your work still sounds like you. Many people use AI, so adding your own personal touch will help make you stand out.
Before you use any application, you need to understand the risks associated with AI and what information you should avoid entering when using public AI tools. Never input personally identifiable information in any public platform. This includes names, addresses, or other information that could reasonably be used to identify an individual. Do not use people's images or likenesses without consent. Be cautious when uploading images that can contain information like names, locations, times, and dates. Do not prompt public AI tools to generate content in the style of a particular creator. Doing so is likely to result in copyright infringement. Never input sensitive information into public AI systems or applications not explicitly set up to protect them. When using public AI tools, make sure to do the following. Do redact sensitive information, such as names, addresses, and phone numbers. Do maintain oversight by reviewing and checking results. AI-generated content should be evaluated for accuracy and bias before being used. And do practice caution when using public AI tools. Stick with applications built by well-known companies with established security protocols and ethical guidelines. When AI tools help us analyze data and problem solve, but we must be aware of the risks and limitations of AI and follow best practices and policies to protect our information. Remember always to do the following. Always practice caution when using public AI tools. Never enter sensitive information into unapproved public AI tools, and carefully review AI output. If you have any questions about Big Interview or other AI tools, please reach out to us.
Welcome
Right.
to the
So that is just an introduction of our AI tools for you to be able to use if you don't or are not familiar with AI as of yet. Let me get my slides back going. All right. So one of the first things that you'll want to work with is your resume. So when you're job searching, obviously that's going to be the first impression when you're applying to positions. Today's applicant tracking systems can very well be AI driven. So when you're preparing your resume, you want to make sure that you are using those appropriate keywords and you're changing your resume each time for the different jobs that you apply to. It's the first round of what employers are using, so you really want to make the first best first impression. So the two critical things you want to be aware of is I would avoid using any kind of template that you find online. If that's a Google search or Microsoft Word has lots of templates. Oftentimes those are created by desktop publishers and artists. They're not really created by career coaches or resume writers. So on our homepage, when you go to the resume resources, you will find samples and templates that we have created for each degree program. So just pick the one that's most appropriate, and you can be assured that it's been created to help you get through these applicant tracking systems. The other critical thing is use the job descriptions. They are going to be your best friend to help you find what employers are looking for in that particular job, the keywords and skills that you want to make sure that you're matching so that you're qualified for the position. Because if you get a low match rate, you also ATS that you want to be concerned about is that they can be notably bad or over stylized with photos, images, what I call being over embellished. So you want to be careful of those. And that's why we want to avoid those templates that are online. Also, when you're creating your resume or updating your resume, you want to avoid using headers or footers, columns, any kind of color or tables, or also text boxes. Many of the ATS devices or platforms will not be able to read through headers or footers or tables or text boxes. So you want to make sure that your resume is going to be read clearly. So just stick to a clean Word document. That's going to ensure readability and that it's going to get through those ATSs. It's not going to be confusing or it's not going to be rejected from any of those AI scans if it cannot read it. So one tool that we have at your disposal is JobScan. Now, JobScan, you have a premium account. So you don't have to sign in to the jobscan.co. You can go from our website to the JobScan that we have for WGU students. What you'll need to do is you'll need to sign in with your WGU credentials to get the premium account. So what we've had discovered, not really discovered, but what JobScan has put out there as far as data and why should I use this? You'll have unlimited resume scans. You'll have a job tracker so that when you're doing your job search, you now have a resource to help you track those external jobs with the ability to also track your interviews and everything in your account that you have signed into. You'll have access to a LinkedIn profile optimizer and also a cover letter generator, so you can really use AI to build all that you need for your job search. What JobScan has told us is that you'll have 3 times more interviews than any other way. You'll have 132% more LinkedIn profiles if you use the LinkedIn profile optimizer, and we could do a LinkedIn review as well. You just have to reach out to us and request a LinkedIn review. And then also what we're getting from the JobScan employees and the staff is that it has shown to have a 46% shortened time to interviews. So when it comes to your resume and your resume score using an AI-powered platform like JobScan, let's listen to hear how they describe themselves.
Welcome to JobScan. My name is Sydney, and I'm going to show you a full walkthrough of the JobScan match rate report. After you scan your resume and the job listing for the job you want to apply for, you'll see your match rate report. JobScan gives you an instant analysis of how well your resume is tailored for a particular job and how to optimize it for applicant tracking systems or ATS. The match rate you see here is based on how well your resume matches up with the job description you entered. We recommend aiming for a match rate of 75% or higher. The first section you'll see here is searchability. Since companies use applicant tracking systems to track and manage candidates, you want to make sure that your resume can be understood by that system. Remember, it's a computer, so it doesn't read documents the way humans do. If a recruiter uses an ATS to search for certain keywords or skills, you want to make sure that the ATS understands that those keywords are on your resume and that you match the search parameters. And by the way, if you see a notice here to add missing scan information, all you have to do is click on that link and type in the URL from the company website for the job you're applying for and the company name. The JobScan system will automatically detect which ATS that company is using and give you guidance on how to optimize your resume accordingly. The report will also tell you if other important resume text like contact info, education info, and dates are searchable. The next 2 sections on your match report show you hard and soft skills that are listed in the job description. Hard skills especially play a major role in hiring decisions, so adding the skills listed here have a high impact on your match rate. The report will show you how many times a skill is mentioned in the job description and how many times it's mentioned on your resume. You can click on a skill to see it in the context of the description. That might help you better understand exactly what the recruiter will be looking for. You might also see predicted skills in this list. Our system is trained to predict skills that a hiring manager might look for based on the kind of job you're applying for. These skills aren't in the job description, but they are commonly mentioned in similar job descriptions, so you might consider adding them to your resume. To get the best results, use these skills lists as a guide for optimizing your resume for an ATS, but also the recruiter. Rather than simply writing these words on your resume, use the skills list to inform what you highlight in your work experience section, what measurable results you talk about, and what projects you focus on. There are other keywords listed here as well. These include company-specific jargon, buzzwords, or industry lingo. Including them might help your resume get noticed, but these keywords have a low score impact. Next, you'll see recruiter tips. We surveyed professional recruiters and got their feedback on what they look for in a resume. Remember, after optimizing for an ATS, you also need to optimize for the human that's going to look at your resume. Is there enough information? Do you include measurable results? It's important to include these things on your resume, but note that these tips do not impact your match rate because they apply to every single job that you apply for. Lastly, JobScan will check your formatting to make sure it's ATS friendly and human friendly. Use these tips to make sure that the ATS can correctly parse the text on your resume and that the recruiter or hiring manager can easily read the text. As you follow these tips, your match rate will increase. JobScan includes several tools to help job seekers get more interviews, including cover letter optimization, LinkedIn optimization, and more. We'll discuss these features in separate videos. To get started, go to jobscan.co and get your free match rate report today.
All right. So you do not have to go to go to jobscan.co because you already have that free that free premium to use. So there is also the cover letter creation and optimizer that's part of JobScan that was discussed. Now, remember, when you're using this, two important things you want to keep in mind. One is you want to always use a job description. Otherwise, you're going to probably get a poor result and report.
An immersion blender is a
So,
great
you wanna
compact
be
tool for
careful of
blending
that. Also, you want to make sure that you are not including your contact information. So you want to redact, take out your contact information, because as you know, the AI tools are using what's called large language models. So they're collecting data, and you don't want that to be part of the collection when you're using these tools. So when we're talking about cover letters, here is a really good way to use something like ChatGPT to help you create a cover letter. You can just go to, let's say, ChatGPT. If you have an account, a free account, you can sign in and begin your prompt with exactly what you want it to do, what you're giving instructions, and that's what the prompt is. So here's an example. I'm applying to a software engineering position and I need a cover letter. Showcase my experience in writing clean code in Python, C++, JavaScript, and using object-oriented programming. Now, again, like I said, don't include your personal information, but you do want to include a job description, and you also want to paste your resume into that ChatGPT. Now, when you're using a job description, you can also include a sentence like this example. Make sure the cover letter includes relevant keywords from the job description to make it ATS friendly. That ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini, whatever you're using, it will understand you. It will understand this. So just talk to it or type your prompt like you would to anybody else, like you're typing it to a friend. Then hit enter and see what happens. But when you get that response, don't take it at face value. You want to proofread it, read through for any errors, mistakes, if it left something out, and then you want to put it in your own voice. So it may give you some really great ideas and some really excellent wording for your resume and your cover letter, but then you want to make sure that you are making it sound like you, not a robot. Now, for interview preparation, we first want to guide you to using Big Interview, and that is on our homepage. And let me give you these links so that you have them. One moment, I just need to pull up the document and grab these hyperlinks and put them in our chat. And then there they are in the chat. So you can click on those. They will take you to other AI powered tools as well, platforms to use for interview preparation. Big Interview, again, you have a free subscription to that. Lots of other tools, lots of other ways of answering questions, of doing a mock interview. So that could be a really good resource for you to use. Now, when it comes to your job search itself, here are some ways to enhance by using different AI platforms and tools. You want to make sure that you update your Handshake profile. That could be important. A lot of folks, you already have a Handshake profile, but it may not be completed with your picture, with your summary, your about page, with relevant skills, uploading a reviewed resume. All of these things are going to help those algorithms in the background for when you're doing your job search through Handshake. And I'm going to say the same thing for LinkedIn. If you're using LinkedIn and you know that recruiters and employers are also using LinkedIn, there's a thing called a recruiter tool that recruiters have when they're using LinkedIn. So they're going by those very similar algorithms and keywords. So you want to make sure that both of these profiles are updated and ready to be used. If you're using any kind of job alerts, be specific with the criteria that you're seeking. Make sure that it's not just general, but you're making sure that those job alerts are using specific, most current criteria for your search. Now, you may get suggested jobs sent to you. Handshake will do that. Sometimes it's going to do it based on how your Handshake profile is set up. So if you're getting jobs that don't make sense to you, make sure that you're updating your Handshake profile so that it may not be 100%, but it's going to be improved when you're also developing your profile. Be cautious of using any kind of automated job application tool. It may be convenient, it may be easy. I know that Google will have that, Job Copilot will have that, Lazy Apply will have that. But the problem is, if it's only using one version of your resume, it may not fit the jobs it finds. It thinks you would be qualified for this position, but maybe you're not. Plus, if you get a call from a recruiter from an automated application and you're not aware of it, that's going to come at you out of the blue, and it may surprise you, or you may not even take that call. So, as daunting as it may be, or frustrating as it may be, I would apply to jobs manually rather than using an automated application tool. Now, these are some quick reference guides that we have put together using AI tools and also AI tips and recommendations. I'm going to pull this over and show you what that would look like. Here is one that is used as a quick reference guide. So you can use this as a smart career goal. If you're a career changer, this can be really useful for you to put together a smart career goal. There are ways of using these free tools like ChatGPT or even Perplexity. And then we give you samples of the prompts that are here. So let me grab this URL. I'm going to put that in the chat for you to come. When you have time, you can come back here and look these over. And then there is also one for the career planning. And this will help you with a targeted company list. So you're not just applying blind, but you're also building a list of target companies for you to apply to. This will walk you through what you do, how to use it, important tips, define your company preferences. It'll give you a customized prompt, and then it'll help you to double check those AI suggestions, as we said earlier. Here are sample prompts that you can come back and look at. And then here is what the company tracker looks like. You can click on this and download this form, and that will help you with tracking your job applications. And then we saw the targeted company list, and it's going to be really helpful, I believe. Now, that really concludes our overview, and there's a lot more that we could definitely go into. And what we've put together is actually a workshop that could help you, many workshops that are AI driven. When you go to our homepage, well, sorry about that. Let me try to get us into the right place here. So when you go to our homepage, you're going to see this upcoming events. This is also in Handshake. And so you'll be able to see when we have these presentations that are developed and available. When you click this blue See More Events, that'll give you a more detailed outlook of what workshops are available. If you don't see those, but you're still interested, you also can go to our YouTube channel. And let me put this in the chat as well, because you can go to our YouTube channel and you can click on videos and you can see what videos we have available. And you can just click on them and you can watch them right there on your screen. Now, if you have any questions, I'd be glad to take any questions for you today. But if you don't, here again is our contact information. Here is a QR code to take the survey, but you'll also get this in the email. But I will stick around if you have any questions for me today. Otherwise, I will thank you for your attention and joining me, and hope you have a good rest of your afternoon. I am going to go ahead and stop the recording.